So we're currently working on renovating Callie and her husband's studio apartment. In part 1, we made some updates to the kitchen, and in this video we'll be concentrating on part 2, which will be the rest of the space. Great.
So just to give you an idea, here's an overview of the entire space. It's around 700 square feet in total. And at this point in the reno, we've already completed the kitchen area, so we're gonna go ahead and just cross that off the list. And now we're moving on to the living space. The main changes we wanna make in this area are really to have the carpet replaced. We wanna add a mantle and mount the TV so that we'll have more space for a nursery area. And then we're gonna paint the existing furniture and redo the bathroom completely. So like we said in the first video, when we first moved into this studio space, all of the walls were painted this cream color, which really warmed up the room too much and made it feel even more dated. So the first thing we did was paint all of the walls a brighter white, and that really did help to freshen up the space a ton. But since then, it's been about 4 years now, and we haven't done any other major improvements to the space except adding the wallpaper accent wall, and like we replaced the ceiling fan. And since we just had our baby a couple months ago, we really wanted to tackle all the things on our wish list for this space before he got here.
The first thing we did was rip out the tile where the old stove used to sit. While this fireplace stove was a cool accent to the space, it wasn't really that practical and never really saw a lot of use. We then mounted the TV and started building the mantle.
So for the mantle, I'd had these wood tiles that I've been saving for a long time, wanting to use them on something really cool. So when we decided to do the mantle, I thought they could add some of that boho character that I was wanting to incorporate more of in the room. So we put those up there and trimmed them out, and then I did like a rough whitewash over the whole thing to try and give it like a distressed Bali type of furniture vibe, and it turned out really cool, I think.
After the mantle was complete, we painted the small closet in the corner of the room so that we could turn it into the baby's closet. Our plan was to get all of the dirty work out of the way before the new white carpet was installed. Once all that was done, it was time to move all the furniture out of the room and say goodbye to the old tan carpet.
For the new carpet, we had a white low nap patterned carpet installed, and we decided against hardwood for this space because we knew we were going to be having a baby and that we'd just be spending a lot more time on the floor. And overall, it just felt more family friendly and homey to us since everything happens all in the same space.
We did end up running strips of quarter round around the whole perimeter of the room afterwards to blend the edge of the new carpet in with the baseboards. The next step was to move all of the furniture back in, most of which we repainted white so that it would create a more seamless, updated look throughout the room. We then moved on and tackled the bathroom. So in the bathroom, there were these tan tiles throughout. They were on the floor and in the shower, and overall they just made the space feel really dated and warm. And in the shower, they even had like little pansy flowers painted on them, which wasn't really the style that we were going for. So we decided to paint everything white pretty much. We did a white epoxy paint in the shower, and then we painted the walls white and the floor too.
Yeah, the other little details that we did were just, we sanded the vanity down to the raw wood and sealed that, and then we added a little tile pebble backsplash around the sink, which turned out pretty neat. And then I just did a little stencil on the makeup counter and stool to add a little more of that boho flair.
Once we completed the bathroom, everything was pretty much checked off on our to-do list. This meant that Callie and Billy could settle back in and prepare for the last addition, their baby boy, Liam. Overall, I'd say that the room makeover went as planned. We were able to accomplish pretty much everything we set out to before the baby came. We made space for the nursery area by mounting a TV and rearranging and eliminating some of the furniture.
We even have a decent amount of open floor space in there now, which is really going to be great just for baby toys and for doing activities. We really were able to make all of the updates to the room and the bathroom that we wanted to. And so now when you look at the studio space as a whole, it just feels so fresh and bright. Now there's lots of white with pops of color, which is right up my alley with some little boho accents. And it all just ties together really well, which is something that was really important to me, considering we were trying to fit essentially 4 or 5 different rooms that you'd find in a typical home all together in one space. We're happy this project is complete and that we got it all done before the baby got here. We'll be doing a more in-depth nursery tour, so stay tuned for that if you're interested, and thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Are you kidding me?
I'm sorry.
You want to look at what you're supposed to say again?
No, I just
You
forgot.